Hello, this is Jim for the Monopoly Project. We're on the Monopoly Project yacht here to do our floating book reviews for the month of June. And of course, every successful real estate investor has a yacht, and this is the Monopoly Project yacht. Unfortunately, it's the Bikini Girls' day off, so you just have me. We're on, it's July 5th, right after the 4th. It's about 6 p.m. and it's pretty hot here still in Phoenix. So anyway, we're here to review 4 books. I only have 2 of the books in hand because the other ones got swept up when we had our floors, bottom floor completely redone, so we had to move everything out and put it back, and so we moved them out. So we have 4 books, and so what do we have? We have number 1, The Plot, which is a novel about writing a novel, How the World Became Rich, and Flatland, and finally our 4th book is Sealed Orders, another of the Alaric Bond fighting sales. Okay, this is Jim back for the 2nd book in our June floating book reviews for the Monopoly Project. The second book, like I said in the intro, some of the books we don't have because we redid our whole floors and the books are off somewhere, and so I will put up a picture of the book so you can see it right here. And this book is called The Plot, and we were flying to Bakersfield for due diligence on our assisted living deal that I talked about a little, and I went into this tiny bookstore in the Phoenix airport, and basically all of the books were airport bestsellers. You know, there wasn't a lot of choice, and so I sort of chose this one at random. But it turned out it was a really good choice, a serendipitous choice, as I put it in the text, because it's a novel about writing a novel, and the author talks a lot about airport bestsellers, and she talks about airport authors in not a good way, and so, but I like the self-referential format where it's a novel about writing a novel. And we did watch the latest Downton Abbey, and that, of course, that latest one, which just came out a month or 2 ago, is a film about making a film. In the book, in the film, they're making a film in the castle, and so all the actors are acting as actors, and they're also acting in the movie, and they're acting, you know, obviously in the Downton Abbey movie. So it's kind of fun to see this self-referential device. I'm going to summarize the plot, and obviously this is spoilers ahead because I can't really find a way to talk about the content of the book without actually telling you what happened. I'm not that good a reviewer. So basically I can summarize the plot as a woman kills her daughter to assume her identity, then woman kills her husband to assume his identity. And so it's a thriller, mystery thriller, and I'm not a real big fan of those, you know. And of course, the thing in mystery thrillers is to see how early you can guess the resolution of the plot. And I pretty quickly came to the conclusion that the character who had the original story wasn't the guy who actually made it up. The plot is basically a best-selling author who's down on his luck. Teaches a class, and a guy comes to him with the best plot he'd ever heard in the world, and so he regrets it, but then he hears that this guy mysteriously died and never actually published it, so he steals the plot and publishes it and becomes a best-selling, as he put it, Oprah-level book, The Plot, and which is what my summary of the plot. But he then starts getting blackmailed by somebody who knows that he stole it, although I didn't think it was that big a deal that he, quote, stole it. You can't really steal a plot. But in any case, it you know, it was the point of the book. So I came to the conclusion that the original guy who you know, thought it up really didn't think it up. And then when the protagonist in the book, the guy who steals the plot, goes to Seattle to talk about the book on a talk show, he meets this woman and they start getting really involved. And at that point, my Russian playwright Anton Chekhov's rule. Anton Chekhov was a Russian playwright, and he had a rule that said one must never place a loaded rifle on stage if it isn't going to go off. And there was a loaded rifle in the woman, and it went off, obviously. And I didn't really like the way that she did it. It was too direct and obvious. I was thinking it was going to be a little more convoluted as to who was blackmailing him and how they fit into the story. And so I didn't really like the way the rifle went off. And the other thing in the book, there's some TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, where she has to, two places where she has to denounce Trump, and another place where she has a Georgia hillbilly say some pro-Trump things to just make it clear to everybody that she's one of the good people, and that you know, you don't have to worry about her thinking Trump is good. So like I said, it was only in 3 places, each a paragraph, so you know, it didn't detract from the whole book, but it was in there just to identify her as one of the good people. In any case, like I said, I did enjoy it. I especially enjoyed the first half of it, where he's, you know, dealing with the guy. He's talking about how he was a real successful author, and then he hasn't been able to do anything anymore, and how he finally steals it and makes a big thing out of it. And of course, he and the author, speaking for herself, talk a lot about the process of writing books, and, you know, how do you position a book to be an airport book, or a, you know, life-changing book like the Life of Pi, or one of those. So that was real interesting. Like I said, the last half, I didn't really like the conclusion. I was looking for something a little more convoluted and devious, but that's probably why I'm not a best-selling author, and I'm not an author at all. So in any case, I do recommend the book. I sent it to my sister for her birthday present, because she likes novels, and she likes you know, books about books, especially poetry, which is another thing I don't get. So in any case, the plot, 336 pages, paperback. It was written in May 2022, so it's real recent, by Jean Hanff Korelitz. And so again, I recommend it. It's a good, and see if you can guess the plot. That's a standard thing in reading mysteries. In any case, this is Jim for the Monopoly Project. We're signing off. We'll catch you on the next book review. Thank you. I just want to see if you guys could see the sunset there, and the geese going by. They're swimming home. All the geese have grown up, and now they're all grown up. Earlier in some of our book reviews, we had showed you the baby geese and the baby ducks, which was real cute. In any case, you can see there the sunset over Val Vista Lakes, and we will catch you on the next floating book review.